Will you and Andrew ever fight the Paul brothers?
So I was asked about this. I'm in good shape now. Could I fight again? Yes.
So why did the Paul brothers even agree to this? Simple fake it till you make it, right? They have to protect that shiny, untouchable image they've been selling for years. Backing out now would scream we're frauds louder than their pre-fight trash talk ever could. They've built their entire brand on the idea of being tough, invincible, and always willing to take on the next big challenge. If they walk away from this fight, it would shatter the persona they've so carefully crafted, and their credibility would be in serious jeopardy. So, despite the risks, they're locked in because pulling out isn't an option if they want to keep the facade intact.
Fighter, legitimate, badass mother, strong mentality. Sorry, Tristan Tate is the weak link. bro, come on. Tristan,
I say let's
he got a bad shoulder. He's shaped like a gingerbread man.
Romania is a flat way. You doing it to
run
him?
it. The PFL will.
I don't want no beef, but that's delusion.
But here's the twist while Logan is charging in with all the emotional intelligence of a YouTube comment section, Jake is somewhere pretending he didn't hear the bell. It's a mess, but it's their mess now, and the whole world is watching as they try to spin this into something they can survive. Logan's all in, throwing himself into the chaos, but Jake seems to be taking a step back, possibly reconsidering his involvement. The pressure is mounting, and as things start to unravel, their attempts to control the narrative are becoming increasingly harder to manage. Everyone's waiting to see how they'll navigate this and if they can salvage their reputation or if it all comes crashing down. And believe me, Andrew Tate is no ordinary name in the fighting world. This guy isn't just a former kickboxing world champion, he's a 4-time champion with a jaw-dropping record of 76 wins and only 9 losses. Let that sink in. While most fighters dream of touching greatness once, Andrew lived there. His victories weren't just numbers on a chart, they were showcases of sheer dominance, power, and precision. He turned the art of kicking someone into an almost poetic spectacle, every punch, every kick, calculated and deliberate. And that's just the surface of what makes him a beast.
Fight between Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Tristan Tate, Andrew Tate.
Really, we're talking about Andrew here. Tristan's not really in this equation. That's like the light work. 10 mil for Andrew, 10 mil for Tristan, 10 mil for you, 10 mil for me.
But here's what they'll say.
I don't need this for the money. You're gonna have to slap $50 million for me even to get out of bed. But if you have money, then why is it about the money?
What
It shouldn't be about the money. It should be solely for entertainment and to figure out who's really about it. And we're telling you, we'll do it.
Now, let's talk about Tristan Tate. The man doesn't crave the limelight as much as his brother, but don't mistake his quiet demeanor for weakness. Tristan might not be as loud, but he's just as deadly in his own right. His calm exterior hides the mind of a true fighter, and when it comes to skill and strategy, he's no slouch. Together, these two brothers are an unstoppable force, ones that the Paul brothers might be underestimating. He's the silent killer and the quiet observer of the duo. Fewer fights, sure, but the impact of each one is immense. Tristan Tate is like that sleeper agent in spy movies, calm, composed, and then bam, you're out cold. People don't talk about Tristan enough, but maybe that's his greatest weapon. By the time you realize you've underestimated him, you're already face down on the mat. He's not here for flashy speeches, he's here to win, and win hard. His focus is razor sharp, and he doesn't need the spotlight to prove his worth.
Jake episode's coming soon. We still have plenty of meat in that podcast. We have a special message for Andrew Tate.
Jake Paul, I will fight you any day of the fucking week.
And if you think these brothers are stepping into the ring for a paycheck, think again. Andrew's net worth is estimated at a staggering $700 million, and Tristan's close to $500 million. Let's be real, when you're making that kind of money, punching people for dollars isn't the goal. They're not stepping into that ring to collect a payday, they're stepping in to prove a point. This fight isn't about fame or fortune, it's about showing the world that they can dominate in and out of the ring. For the Tate brothers, it's about pride, legacy, and a good old-fashioned don't mess with us moment. And that's what makes them so terrifying. They don't need this fight, they want it. There's a difference. It's not just about the money or the fame for them, it's about asserting their dominance and proving that they're untouchable. This mentality is what sets them apart from others who simply fight for a paycheck.
Logan Paul is a bitch, and I will say that here publicly. If anyone wants, I'll fight him for free. The guy's an idiot.
No money needed to fight Logan Paul.
Logan Paul doesn't believe in any of the things he said.
Now, why do people fear the Tate brothers so much? It's not just their stats or their wealth, it's the whole package. Their training is next level, brutal and unforgiving. We're talking about fighters who treat the gym like a second home, with sparring partners viewed as stepping stones to perfection. And let's not forget their psychological warfare. They've mastered the art of getting into their opponents' heads, using mental tactics to break down their will before the first punch is even thrown. It's a combination of skill, mindset, and pure willpower that makes them a terrifying force to face in the ring.
Him and my brother, maybe, and obviously KSI would die. But people like Jake Paul, I feel like they.
Andrew especially knows how to get into his opponent's head. He'll insult you, challenge your worth, and have you questioning your entire existence before you even step into the ring. That's the Tate advantage. They beat you mentally before they beat you physically. Andrew's psychological tactics are a major part of their success. By the time you're in the ring, you're already on the defensive. But then there's the other corner of this brewing storm, the Paul brothers. Jake Paul, the younger of the two, has surprisingly made a name for himself in the boxing world with a record of 7 wins and just 1 loss. He's no slouch. Knocking out Tyron Woodley and beating Anderson Silva were career-defining moments. Jake's not just some loudmouth from YouTube anymore, he's someone who stepped into the ring and delivered. People might not like him, but they can't deny his progress. He's turned skeptics into grudging admirers and, dare I say, a few believers.
Talking about his brother Jake, saying,
yeah, Jake told me he was going to be the world champion. I just had to cut in and say, you know, Jake, you're never going to be that. You're never going to get there. I remember you being a very average kickboxer, telling me you were going to be the world champion. And what did I say? You are going to be the world champion. You are going to be the world champion. And did you become the world champion? Yes, I did. You know, what kind of brothers?
Logan Paul, on the other hand, has taken a slightly different route. While Jake's been building credibility in boxing, Logan's been hopping between WWE stunts and high-profile exhibition matches. His path has been less focused on boxing, but no less controversial, drawing just as much attention for his larger-than-life persona. Together, they're a force to be reckoned with, but they still have a long way to go before proving they can truly hang with the likes of the Tate brothers. And that's the big question hanging over the Paul brothers. Do they have the guts to face opponents like the Tates, who are in this for pride, not paychecks? The Tates don't need the money, they're fighting to prove a point. Then there's the attitude. The Paul brothers have built their careers on being cocky, loud, and unapologetically in your face. It's worked for them in the YouTube world and even in boxing to some extent. But against the Tates, that bravado might not hold up. The Tates aren't here to play games. They don't care about flashy entrances or viral moments. They're here to fight, period. And that no-nonsense mentality is what makes them such a terrifying opponent. And honestly, to me, Tristan Tate versus Logan Paul is the kind of fight nobody saw coming, yet it's shaping up to be one of the most intriguing matchups in recent memory. The drama started when Logan, in true Paul brother fashion, couldn't help but run his mouth during a podcast back in 2022. Logan casually dismissed Tristan Tate as irrelevant, claiming he didn't have the profile to even warrant a fight.
I don't have anything to prove to people like Logan Paul. I am much older than Logan, of course, and my fight career was very, very good. I won something like 30-something of my 40-something fights. Had some very tough battles, lots and lots of wins, European titles, some losses. You know, back in the day before Instagram existed, before everything was, before I was famous, before it gained me clout.
Now, if you know anything about the Tates, you know they don't take insults lightly. Tristan didn't just respond with words, he threw down the ultimate challenge, a fight to settle the score. And let's be clear, this isn't a game for him. Tristan isn't showing up for some WWE performance, he's here to make a statement. And that statement is simple: don't underestimate the Tates, because they're here to prove they can dominate not just in the ring, but in the minds of everyone who doubted them. Logan Paul, for all his charisma and media prowess, has a pretty glaring issue: his fight record. Sure, he stepped into the ring with big names like KSI and Floyd Mayweather, but let's not sugarcoat the results. His match against KSI in 2019 ended in a loss, and while he did go the distance with Mayweather in their 2021 exhibition, it wasn't exactly a competitive bout. Logan's biggest strength is selling a fight, not necessarily winning one. That's where Tristan sees his opening.
Flips and takes his steroids and, makes these big shows about fights. I've never said his name until now because he keeps saying my name. And the only reason I could think he's doing it is for viral hits or viral internet clips, but I have nothing to prove to him.
Tristan is methodical, precise, and above all, disciplined. He doesn't rely on flashy moves or hype, he relies on breaking down his opponents piece by piece. Logan's tendency to underperform in real fights might make him an easy target for Tristan's calculated attacks. What's throwing everyone off is the personal nature of this feud. Fans expected the usual trash talk and media circus, but Tristan's focus has been laser sharp. He's not interested in trading verbal jabs or creating viral moments. For Tristan, this fight is about one thing: respect. Logan, with his larger-than-life personality, might not even realize how serious his opponent is. Meanwhile, the audience is left in shock, watching as the real intensity of the fight begins to sink in. This isn't just another flashy spectacle, this is about proving who truly deserves respect in the ring. There is some combat. Logan Paul has bounced back from ridicule before, but Tristan Tate isn't just another YouTuber looking for a way out. He's a seasoned fighter with something to prove, and that's a dynamic Logan hasn't faced before. While Tristan and Logan's battle simmers, the real firestorm is brewing between Jake Paul and Andrew Tate.
He is a talking piece. He is the mouthpiece for the agenda. The people have come along, people who are trying to force a narrative, and they said, look, we need to have some degree of control over the exact demographic that Tate has control over. We're going to use Logan Paul and attempt to use him. And he sits there and just purports the bullshit points of view.
Jake, now firmly established in the world of celebrity boxing, has built his career on carefully orchestrated fights. His record stands at 7-1, with high-profile wins against former MMA champions Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva. But Andrew Tate, never one to hold back, has accused Jake of staging these fights. Back in late 2022, Andrew publicly called out Jake, branding his matches as WWE-level stunts designed to boost his image. He didn't mince words, mocking Jake's victories as hollow and challenging him to prove himself in a real fight. And by real fight, Andrew means one where there's no script, no predetermined outcome, and no room for excuses. This challenge from Tate is a direct shot at the very foundation of Jake's career in boxing, calling into question whether his victories have been truly earned or just well-crafted spectacles. At first, Jake seemed reluctant to take the bait. Who wouldn't? Andrew Tate isn't just another opponent, he's a four-time kickboxing world champion with an ironclad reputation in combat sports. A fight with Andrew isn't just dangerous, it's career-threatening. But Andrew didn't let up. He turned up the heat with every interview, every social media post, relentlessly poking holes in Jake's carefully constructed persona.
I've never said his name until now because he keeps saying my name.
Tristan Tate is the weak link. He's shaped like a gingerbread man.
He's had, 6 fights, lost them all. I'm known as a fighter in a way that he never will.
The tension escalated after November 15, 2024, when Jake Paul faced off against boxing legend Mike Tyson at T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The bout, streamed live on Netflix, concluded with Paul securing a unanimous decision victory. The judges scored the fight 8-0, 7-2, 7-9, 7-3, and 7-9, 7-3 in favor of Paul. Despite the official outcome, the fight immediately sparked controversy. Fans and critics alike accused the match of being fixed, citing the significant age difference between the two fighters. This added fuel to the fire, making the already heated rivalry between Jake Paul and Andrew Tate even more intense, with accusations of staged victories and doubts about Jake's true ability in the ring. Tyson was 58 while Paul was 27, and the perceived lack of intensity during the bout raised eyebrows. Some spectators noted that Tyson appeared to hold back, refraining from delivering his signature power punches. This fueled speculation about the fight's authenticity, with many questioning whether it was a real contest or a carefully orchestrated spectacle designed to boost Jake Paul's image. The controversy surrounding the fight added more fuel to the already simmering rivalry between Jake and Andrew Tate, casting doubts on the legitimacy of Paul's victories and intensifying the call for a genuine challenge.
Two brothers, one cage. Jake, Logan, you, Tristan. Who comes out alive?
You know what? I'm trying so hard to not start internet beefs.
You could say Jake and Logan, man.
Bro,
don't worry about it.
No, I can't lie.
The much-anticipated showdown between the Paul brothers and the Tate brothers is finally happening, and the internet is buzzing with excitement. This battle is unlike anything Logan and Jake Paul have ever faced before. Known for their controversial online personas and boxing careers, the Paul brothers are about to step out of their usual comfort zone as they go head-to-head with the Tate brothers, a duo that has garnered significant attention for their bold statements and online presence. The stakes are high, and the clash between these two powerful families is set to captivate audiences worldwide. With both sides bringing unique skills, charisma, and a track record of success, this is not just a fight, it's a monumental event that promises to keep the internet on edge. Fans are eagerly awaiting to see how the personalities and skills of these influential figures will collide in what could become one of the most talked-about moments in recent history. Honestly, the Paul brothers are probably regretting this decision already because for once they're not facing a retired athlete, a washed-up celebrity, or a random basketball player looking for relevance. This time, they're up against the Tate brothers, who bring a different level of intensity and a strong presence that can't be dismissed as easily as their past opponents. The Tates are not just in it for the fame or a quick payday, they've got the mindset and skills to back up their bold claims. This clash is about to test the Paul brothers in ways they haven't been challenged before, and they might soon realize that this is no ordinary fight.
It's a lot of talking, and they're fantastic at it. It's why they have a following. They can be magnetic with words, and it draws a lot of people in.
Well, Andrew Tate is was a kickboxing world champion.
What was? Mike, he was.
Completely understood, but I'm just saying, I want to play an unbiased standpoint here. So before we call them simply talkers, there is some combat.
Nope, this time it's the real deal Andrew and Tristan Tate. These guys couldn't care less about fame, clout, or any of the ego boosts that Jake and Logan usually rely on to hype their fights. The Tate brothers aren't in it for the attention or the spotlight, they're driven by a completely different mindset. For them, this isn't about playing into a narrative or riding the waves of controversy, they're here to prove themselves and dominate. Sure, Logan managed to draw with KSI and went the distance with Floyd Mayweather, but let's be honest, his record isn't exactly inspiring. Still, Logan's charisma and showmanship keep him relevant. The man knows how to sell a fight, even if his punches don't always back it up. Financially, the Paul brothers are no pushovers, with a combined net worth of over $100 million. They're living large. But here's the thing, money can't buy grit. It can't buy the instinct to fight when your body wants to quit. For the Tate brothers, it's about pride, legacy, and a good old-fashioned don't mess with us moment. And that's what makes them so terrifying. They don't need this fight, they want it. There's a difference. It's not just about the money or the fame for them, it's about asserting their dominance and proving that they're untouchable. This mentality is what sets them apart from others who simply fight for a paycheck.
Talk to him like a big brother talks to a little brother. But as for Logan saying my name, he's had, 6 fights, lost them all.
At first, Jake seemed reluctant to take the bait. Who wouldn't? Andrew Tate isn't just another opponent, he's a 4-time kickboxing world champion with an ironclad reputation in combat sports. A fight with Andrew isn't just dangerous, it's career-threatening. But Andrew didn't let up. He turned up the heat with every interview, every social media post, relentlessly poking holes in Jake's carefully constructed persona. The tension escalated after November 15, 2024, when Jake Paul faced off against boxing legend Mike Tyson at T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The bout, streamed live on Netflix, concluded with Paul securing a unanimous decision victory. The judges scored the fight 8-0, 7-2, 7-9, 7-3, and 7-9, 7-3 in favor of Paul. Despite the official outcome, the fight immediately sparked controversy. Fans and critics alike accused the match of being fixed, citing the significant age difference between the two fighters. This added fuel to the fire, making the already heated rivalry between Jake Paul and Andrew Tate even more intense, with accusations of staged victories and doubts about Jake's true ability in the ring. Tyson was 58 while Paul was 27, and the perceived lack of intensity during the bout raised eyebrows. Some spectators noted that Tyson appeared to hold back, refraining from delivering his signature power punches. This fueled speculation about the fight's authenticity, with many questioning whether it was a real contest or a carefully orchestrated spectacle designed to boost Jake Paul's image. The controversy surrounding the fight added more fuel to the already simmering rivalry between Jake and Andrew Tate, casting doubts on the legitimacy of Paul's victories and intensifying the call for a genuine challenge. So why did the Paul brothers even agree to this? Simple fake it till you make it, right? They have to protect that shiny, untouchable image they've been selling for years. Backing out now would scream we're frauds louder than their pre-fight trash talk ever could. They've built their entire brand on the idea of being tough, invincible, and always willing to take on the next big challenge. If they walk away from this fight, it would shatter the persona they've so carefully crafted, and their credibility would be in serious jeopardy. So, despite the risks, they're locked in because pulling out isn't an option if they want to keep the facade intact. Jake's image as a rising star in boxing, his credibility as a fighter, and even his lucrative sponsorship deals, all of it hangs in the balance. And let's not forget the audience's role in all of this. Jake Paul has a loyal fan base that thrives on his antics and the drama he creates, but Andrew Tate commands a completely different kind of following. His supporters are fiercely loyal, seeing him as a symbol of raw, unfiltered masculinity. When these two step into the ring, it won't just be a clash of fighters, it'll be a clash of ideologies. Jake's flashy, media-savvy approach will collide with Andrew's no-nonsense, old-school ethos. The stakes couldn't be higher. This is more than just a fight, it's about who gets to define what it means to be a true fighter in the modern age. As the tension continues to build between the Tate brothers and the Paul brothers, one thing is clear: this showdown is more than just a fight. It's a battle for respect, legacy, and the future of combat sports. With personalities, ideologies, and careers on the line, we're in for one of the most exciting, high-stakes matchups in recent history. Who will come out on top? Only time will tell. But whatever happens, this is a fight that will echo through the world of boxing for years to come. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned, this is far from over.